Okay, so let's take some calls.
Yeah, so we've got, is it Matthew?
Yes.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
We kept you on the phone a long time.
Yeah, you stayed on hold for a long time, so thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, my question is, I'm not quite sure of how to classify myself. I consider myself an atheist because I don't believe in a conscious creator, but at the same time, I believe in an afterlife. So does that make me still an atheist?
Sure.
Sure?
Under the definitions that I'd use, yeah. I mean, Buddhists generally don't believe in a God in any conventional sense, and would be atheist, and yet they still believe in an afterlife with regard to reincarnation. I think you're wrong about the afterlife thing.
Let me flip it around, though. A lot of people, most people who would call themselves atheists probably wouldn't believe in an afterlife.
Yeah, most of the
so
people,
maybe that's why you're fishing for a term for yourself.
It's probably not the most... It's accurate in that you don't believe in a God, which is all atheism actually means. It's probably not the best term to describe who you are and what you do or don't believe, because its usage is so often tied to rational atheism, which would be inclusive of a rejection of supernatural claims. But it depends. What kind of afterlife do you believe in, and why?
That's kind of complicated. I don't know. It's sort of like I'm almost embarrassed to say. So I mean, I couldn't say it. You know.
Okay. Well, I didn't ask just to embarrass you. It was mostly curiosity. My position pretty much is that the only time you should believe something is when you have sufficient evidence to justify that belief. And I don't say this to pick on you, because your answers have been more honest and more clear than a lot of other callers that we get. But we get people who say they believe something, and then when you ask them why, they have no reason. They have no evidence. They have no justification. And it becomes more along the lines of, you can almost hear them think, gee, why do I believe that?
Right,
but
it's like they got it out of a Cracker Jack box, and they liked it and kept it.
Yeah, and so I won't.
So to be fair, I think thinking through your beliefs with regard to these things and examining the evidence that's there and these sorts of things takes years. It's taken me 7, 8, 9 years to do all this, and the more I learn about religious beliefs, the less of a believer I am. So I think to do that honestly requires some work on your part, and I think it's worthwhile to do that work. It would be my advocation is to explore that and get to the point where someday you can say, I do believe this, and I do believe it for this reason. And I think that would be a worthwhile journey for you and for other people to do.
I'd also recommend that you not get too hung up on labels. I mean,
right.
You are who you are. I mean, there's 50,000 labels I could probably apply to myself, based on religious things, philosophical issues, any number of mix and match, and I'm me. I'm my own mix of whatever. I happen to use the atheist label because it's true, it's useful, and I find that, in my opinion, not only are religions false, but they're harmful. And what I'd like to do here is, have discussions about that, to say, what do you believe and why, and find out whether I agree or whether I don't. And if I don't, perhaps I'd be able to explain why in a way that would convince somebody that their beliefs are unfounded. But
well, you said before that you don't believe in an afterlife because you think it's kind of pointless to think about those types of things.
No. That's not remotely what I said.
Oh, no, Matt said that before, though. He said that, he doesn't believe in an afterlife because he thinks life's too short or something like that. And,
No, I've never said anything like that. What I've said, and if I have, then it was a huge misstatement. I don't believe in an afterlife because I've seen no evidence to convince me that any kind of afterlife exists. That's the reason why.
And the consequence is, because there's no afterlife, we live life to its fullest now because this is all that we get.
Yeah. How I live my life as if there is no afterlife, because it would be a waste of my time to live as if there were when there's no evidence that any such thing exists. And that's what I find so many people are doing. You talk to people, and it's all about this life is some kind of trial run or soul filter before you get to the real life that makes this one invaluable. That is what I would consider to be a waste of time. To waste time living towards something that's going to happen after you die without any evidence that it's going to happen. But the reason that I don't believe in an afterlife is because I've not been presented with any evidence that would support such a belief.
Right, I understand. I do have a second question, if that's okay, if there's enough time.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, well, I've been kind of considering this idea in my head that maybe religion is almost parallel to the time when it was created. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Jewish beliefs in the Old Testament, in the ways that they kind of lecture people about sex and other different kind of morals, was in a way to protect people, because back in those days, you know, they didn't have a lot of contraceptives or anything like that, and
well,
you know,
a lot of the wisdom of that time ended up swept up into religions. Religions are they're big, messy bundles of stuff, and some of it is theology having to do with the afterlife and spiritual claims, and some of it is food advice, and some of it is practical wisdom about how to have a good relationship with your wife, and some of it is just utter nonsense, and it's all bundled up in together. And so, yeah, you are going to find that with the religions, you're going to find bits and pieces of the culture of that time embedded in there. So yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, well, anyway, you guys have a great day.
Thanks,
Okay.
man. Appreciate the call.
Take care.
Holy cow, Don, look at this. Each of these turns into like some part of the body. Can you guys get on this?
Yeah. You find something interesting?
Well, I don't know that we can't actually probably show this one on TV. I'm not sure which part of Jesus. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah. So we're not quite sure what part that was.
Well, there's the force gun.
Uh-oh. Gee. Was he Jewish? I'm confused. Oh, they weren't consecrated. That's the problem. No.
If he existed, he was Jewish, but he probably wasn't circumcised.
Oh, yeah?
But that's a big long story.
Well, Moses wasn't circumcised. But you
Until
guys did a whole
God
show
came
on
to
circumcision.
kill him.
By the way, there was a whole episode on circumcision by one of our audience members, Jen, who's here. And you can go watch that on YouTube. Or not, Google Video, rather.
Yeah, we covered circumcision.
Okay. Let's take another call. What do you
Sure.
think?